Hi, friends. This is Caitlin from Bloom. I'm so happy to be here with you today with Miss Nikki. Oh, she's on that side. With Miss Nikki from Carrie Grace. We are here to talk to you today about all of our different planner layouts, different sizes. Some of them are vertical, some are horizontal, some are a little more free form, some are pretty guided. So we just know that there's so many options. And if you don't find one that fits with your planning needs or your personality type, or even the size of your bag that you need to be able to carry it in, that it makes it so hard to use. We want the process to be as easy as possible for you and as intuitive as possible so that planning comes naturally and it doesn't ever feel forced or overwhelming. So Nikki has gone through all of her different planners and taken the time to jot down the same information for 1 week. So her meals, all these different appointments and things she'll show us. But that way you can see the same info on each size and layout of planner to see, depending on what you know you need to schedule most often, what is going to work the best for you. So before we jump into that, Nikki, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell them a little about you and your channel.
Okay. Hey, I'm Nikki, and I have the YouTube channel Carrie Grace. I focus a lot on planning and just home routines and things like that. I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I have been married for almost 27 years. I have two teenage boys, and I am a homeschool mom. So we are super busy. So I definitely need these planners to keep me on track. So, where do you want me to start?
Which you start with what your favorite planner is, and then kind of walk us through what type of information you use for every week, and then we can kind of do
Okay.
layout by layout.
Okay. All right. So, my favorite planner is probably the vision planner. I go back and forth between do I like the vision planner better or the ultimate planner better? And sometimes it just depends on what I have going on. But I think my favorite is the vision planner. And the reason it's my favorite planner is because for me, it gives me the most space to be creative and also just lost track of my thoughts, but the most versatile. Like I can totally change it up from week to week. And sometimes I find that that is really important for me. So here is the vision planner. You can see right here, it's really just a vertical column. And if it's a blank page, it looks like this. So you've got your blank vertical column. And what I like to do is divide the planner into sections. So sometimes I divide it into 2 sections, 3 sections, 4 sections, whatever it is I want to do. But for today's video, we're going to stay on track and just show you how I tracked the exact same information in each planner. So in this vertical vision planner, I basically tracked appointments and then some work to-dos, some home to-dos like tasks, my meal plan, and then a few habits. And like I said, everything in this planner that I'm showing you today, I have the exact same information in all of the other planners. So over here, I was able to write in appointments across the top. I just kind of separated it and I wrote today. And these are all of my like timed appointments. And then each day I've got a to-do list. So I had all of my to-dos. Some of them I broke them up by the day if I knew, exactly what day I wanted to do them. And then some of them I have like tasks that were not day specific. So, those random things that you got to do, but you don't know what day you're going to do them on. I really like having this kind of list so that I'm not losing that information. I tracked my meals down across the bottom. There are these nice blank boxes. You can use them for anything. You can use them for tracking workouts or tons of things, but I just used it for my meal plan. And then there is a habit tracker in this planner. And so that is where I tracked my habit. And for the purpose of this video, I just tracked one habit. So it was just the gym. So that is what this information looks like in a vision planner. You can see there's still lots of space. So if you have a lot of tasks, you've got a lot more room. Maybe you need to add like a work section or like a kids section or a home section or whatever. There's still a lot of room here to add more tasks.
I do want to say really quick too, for anyone who wants to see an even more zoomed in, close up version of Nikki's layouts, there's a link in the description that takes you to one of our Bloom blog posts, and there's up close, very large pictures of every single one too. So if you want to see like word for word what she has written, and not just like the general layout kind of thing, you can always go back to there, and that'll be up forever. So even people who are watching this in a replay, check that description.
Absolutely. All right, so the next layout I want to talk about is the alternate planner. We're going to talk about this one next because it's my second favorite planner. So this planner is pretty large. The paper, is it a 9, 8, I think it's 8.5 by 11. So this one's an 8.5 by 11, and that's giant. Like this is bigger than my head. But you can see that I used the same information, and most of this page is pretty full. So I've got appointments right here, and then I've got my meal plan right here, and then I've got just a list of tasks right here. Now, there's not a lot of room in this particular planner if you want to use your tasks and have them separated by day. You could do it if you write really small, but there's just not a lot of room. So if you're somebody that has a lot of tasks and they're not day specific, this is going to be a great planner for you. Like if you just like to work off of a to-do list for the week, you've got a long to-do list. You can see I'd used the whole to-do list and then had to start over on the other side because I needed more room. Up here, there is a place to track your priorities for the week. So some of these to-dos, I just put them up here in the priorities. And then you can see I used one of the spaces to track a habit. Okay, so this is all the same information. The next planner I want to show you is the 4x6, just like the classic Bloom planner. And this is going to blow your mind. Okay, this planner is giant. And like I said, it is pretty full. This to-do list is full. We've got a little blank space right here, but everything is pretty much accounted for. And I just closed the planner, and I've got to find where it is again so that I can show you. It's
while Nikki finds her page, I just want to let you guys know too, any questions that you have for us, please leave them in the comments and we'll go through and pull them up and make sure that we handle any questions that you have. We know this is a lot of information and a lot of options. So,
okay, I found it. Sorry about that. All right, so this is the smallest Bloom planner. And as you can see, all of that same information is in here. So the way that I break it up in here is for my to-dos, I've got my priorities right here at the top. And then all of the other to-dos are just listed here on the side. The next thing I did is I tracked my meal plan. You can see I just kind of used a highlighter and just made a line with the highlighter next to the day. And then I listed my meal plan. And then I had a place for my appointments just here on the side. And that was not the right page. I didn't think it looked right. It's this one. So sorry about that. This one actually has the exact same information, but it is what I just said. Tasks up here, like the most important priorities, then all of my tasks listed here. And I just kind of broke the day down with a line down the middle. So I've got appointments right here, tasks right here, and then my meal plan right here. The thing to note about this style of planner is if you have a lot of tasks that are not day specific, like if you need a running to-do list, there's not really a good place for that in here. You may want to think about either the Ultimate Planner or the Vision Planner. But if you are one of those people that is super organized and you know that, certain tasks need to be done on certain days, you've got plenty of room to fill in your tasks here. And then you've got your top 3 for the day. So all of the same information that is in this tiny planner is also right here. So you can see there's a huge difference. And on this one, you still even have extra room. Like there's appointments that are not filled in because I didn't have any that day. There's a whole section right here. So you can fit a lot in that planner. So if you've got like a little bag, you can have a little planner.
I was gonna say real quick,
Yep.
I use that tiny planner to keep like all my kids' school dates and like my doctor's appointments and things like that in, because I can just pop it in any size purse that I have, like my little crossbody. But then for my running to-do list, since I can't keep that in there, I have a pad that just stays on my desk, like a time to-do pad. So that's
Yes.
another backup option if you know that you need something tiny enough to slip into any purse.
Yes. And they have a ton of pads. They have, let me show you this one right here.
They do.
These little books, they are perfect to go with the little pocket planner. They're great because they're nice and small. Another thing, and you're like, okay, well, maybe I need to put some other things in that little planner, but it's so tiny. If you go to Bloom's website, they have a ton of free printables. You can make those printables really small when you print them out, and then you can cut them and they will go in this planner because there's a ton of notes pages in here. I think there are, maybe it's not a ton, but it is a very sufficient amount. And so there's plenty of room for that. Another thing you can do is Post-its. Like you can throw some Post-its in there and, make your to-do list or notes or things like that. And it works really great. All right, so we're going to go to the next size planner. Yep.
Real quick, sorry. Charlotte put in a really great comment that I loved. She said the Ultimate Planner page is full, but because it's condensed onto one page instead of a 2-page spread, she can fold it over so it still takes up less room on her desk, which I thought was very interesting.
Yes, that is a very valid point. And that is one of the reasons that I really like this is because you can see everything all at a glance and it just doesn't take up a ton of room on your desk. All right, so let's go to is it a 5x8 planner?
Yep.
So we got the same information in here. We've got our top priorities here at the top. We've got our meal plan across here. We've got appointments on the left, and then our to-dos for the day on the right. And then there's not a habit tracker in this particular one. I can't remember if there is in the new one. That one was actually in an older planner. Yeah, there's not a habit tracker, but that's okay because Bloom has a ton of habit tracking stickers. So if you've got some habits that you want to track, you can grab a habit tracking sticker and find a place to stick that in here. You can do it down in the corner. There's also, space up here at the top. So if you want to track habits and you really like this size planner, you can add stickers and really make this, size work for you if you really like this size. All right, so the next size is the big one. It's the 8.5 by 11. And this is still just in the Bloom's classic layout. And again, we've got the exact same information. We just have it in a bigger planner. So everything is laid out the same. We've got our to-dos, like our top priorities, then just our tasks broken down by the day. We've got a place to track our meals for the week, and then our appointments. Now, if you're somebody that works outside the home, or maybe you work at home and you want to track all of your work stuff with your home stuff, that's still something that you can do in all of these planners. If you break up your day, you could always do like home things and work things. There's so many different ways that you can, just kind of break this up and make it work. So yeah, those are the sizes. You've got the big 8.5 by 11. You've got the kind of classic 5 by 8. We've got the 4x6, and I shut it again. There it is. It's right here. We've got the Ultimate Planner with everything on one page. And then we have the Vision Planner, where you have a vertical layout instead of a horizontal layout. So that's kind of the breakdown of all of the layouts.
Perfect. And so I guess one of my other thoughts is like, I know you love the Ultimate Planner, and because I know it pretty well, I feel like I know why. But besides just the main page layouts, is there anything about the Vision or the Ultimate, like the extra parts of it that like really set them apart for you?
Yes. Okay, so I did mention that I always have trouble choosing between the Vision Planner and the Ultimate Planner. And my favorite thing about the Ultimate Planner is that there are a ton of notes pages in the back of the planner. So you have your not your creative, but like all of your life coaching pages, that you still have those in the front of the Ultimate Planner. There's a ton of those. And then in the back, you get a creative section and a notes section. I'm going to try to flip to some that are blank. Well, not blank, but ones that I want to show you. So you get a ton of dot grid pages. And I can't remember how many pages there are, but there's a lot of them. You can make all kinds of lists. You can take all kinds of notes. There's really a lot of room to really be creative in this planner. And that's why it's called the Ultimate Planner, because it's like a notebook and a planner all in one. So you've got lots of dot grid pages. And then you also have a section of notes that has lined paper. So there's a ton. And then another thing that I love about this planner that is different from the other planners is that it has a clear sleeve, so you can change out the artwork in the front. It comes with 3 different sheets that come in here that are all beautiful. There's free printables on their website. You can make your own. You can do all kinds of things. So that's really fun. The thing with the video, I'm trying to figure out where to set this stuff down and not knock my cup over. So the thing that sets apart the Vision Planner for me is really just all of the way you can set up your goals in here. If you are looking to set up goals this year and create goals and really be able to break down goals, you probably want a Vision Planner. So in the front of the Vision Planner, you've got all of your life coaching pages that come with your planner. But then each month, you also get, and I'm trying to go to the blank one, you also get a vision worksheet at the beginning of the month. And this is where you can break down those goals that you set at the beginning of the year. You can break those down into steps for the month. That way you are constantly thinking about your goals that you set at the beginning of the year. You're thinking about them every month and, trying to figure out what you need to do next so that you can reach that goal. And I love that this is included in here. So that's definitely a difference in the Vision Planner versus some of the classic planners.
Perfect. Let's see, Charlotte's got all kinds of good ideas. She said the dot grid and line pages in the Ultimate Planner. She uses some of those to plan birthdays for family. I love that.
Yes.
Kate said she's super excited to start setting up her Vision Planner. I think Vision for me is inspiring because like it gets your wheels turning a little bit different.
Yes. Yeah, another thing you were talking about, the birthday parties and things like that, with all of the extra notes pages in the back of the Ultimate Planner. Here's like a summer bucket list. You can plan birthdays. You can plan out your holidays. There are enough pages in here that you can plan everything, like your whole life. You can do it all in this one.
Everything. The full catch-all.
Yep.
Right?
Everything.
All right. Well, if anybody watching has any questions, whether it's layout or product related, advice, anything like that, please drop us some comments. But I did pull a couple questions from our Facebook community. Shout out if you're not in our Facebook community and you're on Facebook, it's free to join. I'll update the description when we're done and pop in a link to that. You can also search Bloom Daily Planners on Facebook and the community will come up with some questions and we'll get you in there. But it's full of inspiration like this. These posts are something Nikki originally shared in our community, and we fell in love with them so much that we decided it just had to be alive because people had so many questions and loved seeing the comparison like that. So one of the questions I found, Nikki, was how can I manage both work and personal schedules in one planner? Which I know you kind of showed the splits, but I've seen so many of your different people.
Yeah, let me find here's an example of a different way to set it up in the vision planner. You can see that this particular week I set it up in 3 different categories. So I just use a highlighter. You can use a highlighter, you can use a pen, and I just use a ruler and I just make categories. So I have one for today, which is for like appointments. This one is just for to-dos, for all of my to-dos for the day. And then down here, I have a work section. So in this particular planner, I mentioned before, this has so much versatility. You can change this from week to week. I don't usually set it up exactly the same every month. Sometimes I will within a month because sometimes, things are the same. But like this week, I didn't. I just kind of have everything broken down kind of by the time of day throughout the day so I can see the flow of the day. Another thing you can do if you're trying to, keep work and home life in the same planner is in the horizontal planner, like it looks like this. You just have a nice big open space. But if you get your ruler and a pen or a highlighter, make a line down the middle. You can make it, even, or you can make one side smaller and one side larger. And you can have home on one side and work on the other. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. In the ultimate planner, you could do the same thing if you didn't want to track your meals in here. When we get to one, you could do like home or work on one side and then either home or work on the other side. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that.
I was going to say too, when you held up your 8.5 by 11 classic layout, the way you had it split, the first thing that popped into my mind was you even have room for a third column. Like if you
that is very
to.
true. Yes.
So you could do like work, home, kids, or like for me, right? It would be like work, home, content. Like different ways to split it up. But that if you like the bigger classic, I feel like that's one of the main benefits is you can really separate that space out. Yep.
Yeah. So here's an example of separating it by 3s. In this one, I didn't separate it at all. I just used a few stickers and just kind of highlighted, the things that were the most important to me that day. You can use the color coding stickers to color code things. And here's an example of breaking it down the middle or breaking it down kind of off centered so that you got a larger section and then a smaller section, 3 sections. It's also very vertical. It just depends on how big you write is one thing I would consider, because in this one, if you use a lot of words, you may want a bigger section. If you write small and kind of just list things, you may really like the vision planner. So that's something to think about is how many words you need to write and how big you need to write.
Yeah, Robbie left a comment. She said, that's what I do, all the lines.
Yes.
It also made me think too, we have some people that use I think Kendall in the comments, she uses some of her planners as journaling planners or memory keepers versus appointments. So having those lines in those bigger spaces so you can fit your whole days, like memories are important things or even quotes and things in there is another thing to keep in mind too.
Yes, I'm actually going to be using one of the classic size ones for a journal this year for that reason.
Yay. All right. Another question that I had from the community is, which you kind of touched on a little bit too, but what are your favorite ways to track habits or goals using your planner? And this can just, instead of like showing where, just like for you personally, what's your top way?
I really like the built-in habit trackers. Most of the planners, not most of them, several of them do have a habit tracker. I know that the Ultimate Planner has a habit tracker and the Vision Planner has a habit tracker. And then in the other planners, if I'm wanting to track habits, there's a ton of stickers. I think I mentioned that already, but a lot of the sticker packs have some kind of habit tracker in them. So you can get those and then you can put them in there exactly where you want them and track as many habits as you want to.
Yeah,
So that makes it really easy.
I had one here. Yeah, our calendar essentials have like a square that has like the 7 dots across so that you can put any habit you want and then check them off as you go. Super
Yes,
fun.
that's right. I think I've got one right here.
Yeah. So I think that is a good thing to remember, that it definitely helps you to kind of customize. And that way, if there's a week you know you're on vacation and maybe you're not so concerned with how many times you made it to the gym, you can just skip that sticker that week.
Exactly.
Okay, how can I make my planner look pretty without it becoming super time consuming? I know that's daunting for me. Like I want to use all the stickers, but eventually like I have to, get stuff done. So
Yeah.
what tips for that?
If you have ever watched any of my Plan With Me videos, you will know that for me, less is more. When I start trying to use all the stickers all at once, it becomes a lot. So what I like to do is I like to think about colors that kind of go together. I like to kind of match my highlighters to the stickers that I'm using. I like to kind of, create like a theme for the week. And I feel like that makes it really easy. And then if you're kind of just looking for stickers in, a specific color, makes it really easy to flip through your stickers really quick, grab a couple, that makes sense, use your highlighters, things like that. It doesn't have to take a long time. I don't like to spend a lot of time planning. I need my planning to really help me live my life in an organized fashion. But all the stickers and all the things, it is fun if that's something that you like to do for just like a hobby or whatever. But I think having just creating a system for yourself, and you may have to play around. But for me, I like to kind of pick out a couple colors for a week, look for stickers that kind of go with that, and I feel like that makes it calm, it makes it easy to look at, and it doesn't make it take very long.
So I have two things. Shout out to Nikki's channel. It's linked in the description too. So go subscribe and follow her over there because she does her plan with me. She has so much other content. She also is amazing for like finding swatching her mild liners or different markers to show what color coordinates with bloom stickers. Love that. Um, and yeah, I also wanted to throw in the thing that helps me is I keep one pencil case that's just for planning. And so my mild liners are in there, my favorite planning pen is in there, and that kind of can get tucked into whatever bag or whatever, whether I'm at my work desk or home desk, but I don't have to go searching for things. I just know like the colors that I like are already in there. And it takes, sometimes if I have all the markers, it can feel really overwhelming, right? I get that analysis paralysis or whatever, like I just get stuck. So having like these ones I know I like, simple and easy.
Right. And another thing you can do too is you can think about your monthly spread separate from your weekly spread if you want to. I really like the monthly celebration stickers. There's a lot of different ones, like the regular monthly celebration stickers. I feel like there is kind of a color theme to each sticker, sheet anyway. But then there's also like the vintage holiday stickers and things like that, where they have stickers for each month. They also have the sticker book that has a lot of things, and everything, pretty much coordinates really well in there. So if you don't want to spend a lot of time planning, but you really want to make it pretty, I would say pick something and stick with it. So maybe pick either the celebration stickers and or the sticker book or the vintage stickers, but don't try to put all three of those together. And that'll help you kind of cut down on your time. And it'll also make things really cohesive.
And that kind of goes into the next question I pulled from the community, which is what are some creative ways to use the monthly overview page? So not just decorating, but
Mhm.
how do you use your monthly spreads?
Okay, so let me grab one so I can give you guys a good example. I really do use it as just kind of an overview for everything. Pretty much everything in our life is going to go on the monthly spread. That's not super creative, but it's very, very functional. So, one thing that I do like to do and kind of change up is the notes section. So, there's a notes section in all of the planners except for the 4x6, I believe. But there's a note section, and you can use this for tracking goals. You can use it for tracking like family birthdays. You can use it for notes. You can use it for just putting stickers down if you want to. There's so many different things that you can do with that. And then, like I said, I really do keep my monthly pretty simple. I don't usually use it for anything other than just an overview. But if you have maybe more than one planner, maybe if you have a work planner and a home planner, you could track different things. Maybe you use one of the monthly calendars to kind of track everything, and then you could use another one for meal planning. You could use it for tracking workouts, like if you like to see everything kind of all at once. So that is another thing you can do. Because maybe, you have like a big balloon wall calendar where you use that for everything, like your overview for the month. Then if you don't feel like you need the monthly in your planner as much, like I said, you could use it for something like, meal planning or tracking workouts or just your kids' schedules or anything that you kind of want to keep separate. So there's a lot of different ways that you could use that.
I love that. I also, for my bigger monthly spreads and my big calendar, I color code with my highlighters and stuff too, so that I can kind of see at a glance if one week is super like work heavy or the kids have off for the whole week. It's easy to see that just looking without having to, I mean, you're going to read it, but it just helps me to kind of mentally compartmentalize each thing, just kind of color coding within my month. And I change it up
Absolutely.
to try to keep it fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great tip. I don't color code that way because then I feel like every month looks the same and I need to change it up. But that's definitely a great way, like you said, to kind of look at your month at a whole and kind of see, what area of your life is real heavy and busy in a certain, time, and then kind of see where you got the holes to fill in. So yeah, I love that.
All right, the last question that I have pulled, if anyone has questions, throw them in the comments for us now. But the last question that I grabbed was, what's the best way to prioritize tasks if I just have too much to do? I know you are so good at prioritizing, so I want your secrets.
Um, you really just have to figure out what is the most important. I mean, you really just have to pick a priority and kind of go with it. I feel like it really depends on what season of life you're in. There are seasons of life where um, everything revolves around your children and they are absolutely your priority above everything when they're really, really young. And then there are seasons of life where your kids are older and you have a little bit more time where you can, do more things at home or you can do more things at work and things like that. So it really kind of really just depends on your season and knowing what season you're in. It's okay in certain seasons to let certain things go. But when you have a lot of things though, and you just have to prioritize and have to get things done, I really like to just get a notepad, write everything that I'm thinking about that needs to get done, just write it all out, and then just look at it and figure out, okay, I have to do all this stuff. How am I going to get it done? So sometimes I'll set a timer and just whiz through all the things really quickly. And then other times, you can look at that list and know that there's no way you're ever going to get to all of it in a specific amount of time. So you just have to choose. You have to pick what's important to you at the time.
Yeah, and I just ran over to grab one. But a lot of our planners I know for sure I have the 5x8 and I have the big guy, the 8.5x11. Each week has a spot to write your top priorities. So that can help you to stay on track as well, so that it doesn't just become the whole to-do list, picking out your 3 things on Monday so that you can follow back up with yourself on Sunday. I find helps me to kind of seeing them all week helps me stay on track and not, I'll literally forget if I don't see it. If it's just some thing in my head and I don't write it down, it won't get done.
Yeah, I like to write everything down and break out the highlighters, move things to the top of the list. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. And Kim had a really good idea too. She said she found that time blocking within a category helps her to stay on track. So she's not just jumping from one thing to another, where you kind of hit one of those cycles where you're like, oh, I went into the living room to grab the blankets. And then when I went to put them in the washer, I saw that, the trash was full and I took that out. And it's like, well, you never started the laundry an hour later. So I love that idea too of time blocking. So, like this hour is just for X, right? Like just handling computer work.
Yes. Yes, that makes a huge difference. That's a great tip for sure.
Awesome. All right. Well, you still have a couple minutes while we wrap things up if anyone has questions. And if you're watching this in the replay, because we know this is a different time of day for us. Usually we do our lives later in the evening, but we wanted to kind of test things out. So if you're watching this later or on your lunch break, West Coast is probably still not on lunch yet. You can always leave your questions down in the comments under the video, and I will be circling back to keep an eye out. We'll answer anything. And then, like I said before, make sure that if you're not already, you join our Facebook community, because we answer questions and it's so much fun to watch community members help each other and give advice. Everybody's sharing their weekly spreads, so you can get so much good inspiration over there. But yeah, I also want to encourage you, if you haven't already, to check out the blog post that's linked in the description. That's going to give you those up close pictures so you can see every detail of all of the layouts that Nikki walked us through. I also encourage you to go check out the website. We have pictures, up close pictures of each of those layouts with labels that tell you exactly, which one's vertical, which one's horizontal, which has the dot. All of those things are listed and in up close pictures on the website as well. And the link to the 2025 line is in our description. Shout out to Nikki too. She is one of our Bloom ambassadors. So if you are going to shop from our video, we encourage you to use her link. Nicole, Nicole 10 will get you 10% off your order. And let's see. Yeah, this video is going to stay up. If you have any other questions in general, even other topics, things you'd like us to cover, we're going to get back on our live regular schedule, and we have some really fun things coming up in the end of this month and in January, because we know it's go planner time to get ready to hit 2025, hit the ground running. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and Nikki's channel, and that way you will get to see all of the fun New Year content that's coming. We are so happy to be able to be here and support the planner community. We are so grateful for all of our Bloom girlies who have been supporting us. It's been such a good year. We know 2025 is going to be even better and full of so many new adventures. So we're just so excited. Thank you so much, Nikki, for coming to hang out with us and for sharing your amazing weekly spreads. I would have never thought to do that kind of test using the same info. And I think it just really helps to show a very clear picture of how each planner can work. so that people can kind of see what fits their needs.
Well, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody have a great day. If we don't see you before then, have a great holiday, but we'll be back. So make sure you subscribe and keep an eye out, and we will see you soon. Bye.